Hello and welcome to episode 14 of Let's Play Europa Universalis 4, Vijayanagar and Hindustan. Last time we were working on overextension. Now that that's mostly taken care of course we do need to take care of what provinces we have left, but two of those are already in progress, and we will be coring Kiwathar. Begin coring process on Kawathar soon, especially since we only need 22 more, which will take around 8 months with our current income speed. Last time we also started working on building relations with the Marathas. Unfortunately, it probably won't do much, especially since we have an aggressive expansion penalty. We have a huge discovery spread happening to us right now. What's happening? Oh, so we know what's happened. Oh, we're actually getting a look on a lot of the world. Mostly combination of Sean and Ayutha's knowledge of the world, plus the Timurids' knowledge of the Muslim world. So, oh, and we also have our colony over here that we just started. So, to start, it looks like we have a relatively strong duopoly that's starting to move into the Mamluks. The Ottomans are disappointingly not, don't look at very threatening. We know about Milan, which is actually our first Christian power we know about. And actually, if we look at tech, we can know roughly, yep, in terms of military technology, they're already at 10, which is miles ahead of us. Muscovy is up here, I think. I don't think they've westernized. They've just been able to have good enough leaders to keep up. Sweden, it looks like it's strong in Karelia, in Finland, and may be able to start moving into Norway. Here, let's run since we're not doing anything down here. Additionally, if we look, Lithuania and Poland have expanded a little into Muscovy's area. And religiously, yes, here we go. The Protestant Revolution has started. So with that said, well, the Persian Gulf, our ships are starting to take attrition. I really should keep looking away for that long. Wow. Yeah, our ships are dead. I need to focus more on that, but I guess it shows the naval attrition is working as intended. Actually, we've got back into friendly waters, so we are saved. At least these 4 ships are saved. We didn't even put in the... Wow. Yeah, we actually weren't going to discover anything. So, I guess with that, oh, our colony is dead for now. We'll send our colonist again to try again. Because, though they're very aggressive and there's a lot of them, we can, we'll take spy defense down. If we manage to colonize this province, we'd get, 1 full base tax bonus in terms of, actual bonuses. And that's nice. Also, may be wise to look at this island, because it's obviously not part of Major D. And we have our first major rebellion in a while. It's some Sunni rebels. Tibet's asking us for military access. We'll grant it to them, so they can pursue whatever crazy war. Okay, so commenting. We still have a very Confucian China, with the south being controlled by Zhu, and the north being controlled by our favorite friends Ming. The Oryat horde seems to have taken quite the beating. I'm sorry, it looks like it. That's just a river looking weird. The Oryat horde's pretty decent. I'm very shocked by the extent of Muscovy. And intimidated, of course. Zhu now is starting to like us, so that we may be able to ask for basing rights eventually. But not now. We're about to put down the rebellion, looks like. Yep, the Islamic rebellion. We want to, and they're moving. Because we're converting this province very slowly, but we are converting it, we're going to want to keep an eye out to make sure that they don't undo our progress and try taking it back. And it would be bad. Yeah, wow, I cannot speak sometimes. So having this knowledge about all the world, we can actually get some more plan. Now, since Milan is still there, we know that there's no really a super Italian state yet, and down the line we'll be able to actually get further spread farther away into the rest of Europe. So we'll go and now get our embassy's technology. We won't have naval ambitions yet, but soon we'll get another huge colonial range boost. And we'll start looking into creating colonies in Indonesia. We have re-established our colony in Majordine. It's small right now, but if we get lucky early on and can establish a pretty strong group, then we should be able to, in the long run, do quite well. Our ships are still repairing. And how much are we actually funding them? I did not defund them. That's good. Because now I'm really curious on what that island is, so I can start converting it. Not converting, colonizing it. We know it's actually an already controlled island by the name of Scotia. At least we know it's not independent. So we'll go, and since we're still very close to our colony, we'll go and start investigating. We've actually formally encountered this Swahili now. And also I didn't note this, we actually know about Ethiopia. Why? Probably because Swahili was at war with them, perhaps? Or we just knew about them. It's a mystery to me. So, with our work and the fact that we're close to our colony up here in Majordine, which is slowly growing, we should be able to do some pretty nice things exploration-wise in terms of we got rebellion in Mandla for whatever reason peasants revolt for. Okay, now that we've gone and discovered down a few more spaces, we're going to start moving back up and trying to discover what this province is. So we're going to set a small patrol between it going into the area of Majordine and looking at the Seychelles, which is currently within the Seychelles, which I assume that's the island's called Maha. It's not within our colonial range. Actually, it is. So once I feel confident about Majordine and its growth, we may send someone to start colonizing Maha. We can also look at that island to the south. So I'm going to send our ship into port in the Maldives, and then we'll go look at inside the Chagos Archipelago for whatever that is. Our forces manpower is now finally reaching its stages where it's recovering at a decent rate. I mean, the forces down here haven't recovered well, but we're doing well overall. Oud is slowly not hating us. And we're seeing more growth in that way. Probably come January, our fleet in the Maldives will be recovered enough from their ordeals to start looking to discover what exactly that is. I'm sorry, I'm just checking when we're gonna unlock more ships. So we'll unlock Caravel at level 9, Carrack at level 9, Galleass at 14, and Cog Flight at 10. We really won't see much more in terms of our administrative tech. Timurids has solved their religious turmoil, which they had, which I may have blocked that out. There are apparently enough of their primary faith, which is Shia, or they don't care because most of their provinces are occupied by Sunni individuals. Ottomans are projecting force into Lithuania, so that's good. They could be much weaker. And I think our forces in the Maldives, our ships in the Maldives, have now fully recovered. So we'll set them on patrol until we discover what the island is. Fortunately, Sind has also entered the military coalition against us. That coalition has grown quite large. I don't see the reason for it. Sind is a really major potential threat to us. So what we're going to want to do in the long run is send someone to try to get them out of the coalition while we target the weaker states of Oud, Bengal, Delhi, and even Marathas and Marathas, yeah, and Amnagar. I want to know what that province is. Tell me, Captain. And our colony here has grown to the point where, one, we can actually see text. Delhi has left the military coalition against us for whatever reason. I guess, yay. Zhu is very much liking us now, though they still would be reluctant to let us explore their waters. Waters near them. Fortunately, why did I close that ahead of time? We already have improved we can improve relations a little bit more. Hopefully enough to get so we can send a fleet up through their area to discover the coast of China. Though now we can look at trade and how it's feeding out. And actually, we're seeing a somewhat troubling picture. If we look, a lot of the trade back in China is not moving. And I guess I don't know where Canton is for some reason. But a lot of the trade out here is not moving up to us. I mean, if we look at Malacca, it has 7.5. None of that's reaching us. Siam, 3.5, not as big. Bengal, of course, is bad. But we want to bring as much of the stuff back here to Ceylon and then hold it in Ceylon to collect money. For trade money. Let's finish up armories that we can build. Granted, two of our provinces are somewhat occupied at this time. One of them is being cored, Gurjat, and actually we can core the other one once we have the money for it. We can also now consider building an embassy. We can build this anywhere in our nation, and we get one free diplomat from it. So it's probably wise to build it in a more secure place. I personally think Badar is a very good place for it. So we'll build our embassy inside there, and since everywhere was valid, I'm pretty sure I don't need someone bordering us. So and with a third diplomat, we'll be able to have 2 doing actions while holding 1 for wars and such, and more emergency matters. Tibet didn't want to maintain that anymore. I'm fine with that. Oh, actually, I didn't notice this. Colonial rush. Which means for 5 years we'll be getting a lot more settlers, and such. Syria is actually independent, though they're being invaded by Akbar. No. Though Patriots are, of course, holding it. And we also see a miniature Iraq, which, of course, Kara Kolunu down here controls the rest of their provinces. But if both of those do fairly well, then we could see a relatively nice nation situation arising up, which keeps a weaker Middle East outside of Persia, which is kind of slowly inheriting Timur's legacy. That's terrifying monster. We need around 4,000 troops left to finish all the recovery efforts we're working towards, and we can actually start gaining manpower again. Have we discovered what province this is? Yes, we've discovered Diego Garcia. It is completely uninhabited, so we could send a colonist there and he can work on his own. We do not need anyone there, which is good. Now we're gonna send him down into Indonesia, so to maybe get a few discoveries done of new sea zones, and more importantly, to discover new provinces for us to colonize. And already we have the province, Banten, which if we look at, it's even more troops than in all of our other provinces, but it would be a very nice colony overall to have. And it's actually very tempting to go get that boost to colony growth, so we can make more colonies throughout the entire world for trade and for siege. There's a nation here we can't see. Hopefully it will fire soon, and we'll be able to see it. Province discovery will fire, I should say, a coastal province. And it did. We now can see Mahajvit. Religiously, it's actually another Hindu state, and one of the few ones out here. So they're relatively friendly by default with us, and if we so we should be able to ask basing rights from them, so our ship can far. We'll move around before we move back through the Straits of Malacca, because I'm already happy that we even can see more nations, especially another Hindu, since we've been, for a while, we've been the only Hindu that's really been relevant to us. We can also see Sunda, which is similarly decent province, though not as strong as Banten, which is almost, I'd say, top priority for a new colony once we finish over in Majordine. We'll have to rename Diego Garcia once we colonize it. Which actually, since... Yeah, I'm not really confident yet, but we're going to temporarily recall our colonist and send him to Diego Garcia so we can start colonizing it. Since it's an open province, ready to be taken by whichever entrepreneuring nation wants to take it. So we'll move and repair our fleet before we look more. And actually, Alcat controls Brunei. We lose some ducats in a pretty bad event. I mean, there's worse, but ouch. So, and actually, with Kuathar, once Kuathar finishes, we've had for a while the administrative, and probably we want to build that. We're also going to order an Earth Rampart in the Maldives, and we don't have enough money. But also we're going to want it in the Adanmas, because together those represent some of our stronger provinces. I mean, not stronger provinces, most vulnerable provinces. And we can't really defend them. I mean, even tech-wise, we won't. We're only just now developing cannons. Or at least we will be eventually. Diplomatically speaking, looking at our heir, he's aged 3. We really don't want to lose our current ruler at the moment. As much as we're kind of doing more passive exploration and expansion, we want to have more stable. We want to have a ruler, so we have the option of war. Though of course we definitely aren't doing it, even because we still have pretty decent levels of overextension. Which reminds me, Gurajet is actually past halfway to reaching the point where we'll actually be able to call it to Korit. Okay, so by the 21st we'll be able to start finishing our current overextension woes. We'll send our core making group, and this will be done in 8 years, and then we'll be done with provinces like that. We can now look into building other stuff like a marketplace, or at least we would if we weren't saving up diplomatic power to because I feel like actually you heard me debating it earlier, but getting land of opportunity and even just upping and completely finishing the idea group would be worth it. Well, maybe not getting the last one, but well, no, that's overseas income, which if we go deep into Indonesia, we'll want. Despite only our administrative rank, of course, is any good. And we're starting to actually get troops recover. All our forces are essentially topped off, to the point where the reinforcements they are receiving is less than the reinforcements we get every month. Majordine has been destroyed. Unfortunate. Now that we've set up this new colony in Diego Garcia, we'll start working on Majordine again, because it will be a cheap colony, but I do want it just in case some major nation chooses to conquer them. We'll have a border to work on westernization finally. And actually, we're up to our 3 diplomat level. Will they give us basing rights? They will not. And relationship-wise, we can only push it slightly more. So we need to just give them a little bit extra to put them over. Since they're such a large nation, they're expecting a fairly large bribe. So we'll wait until we finish improving relation. Then we'll bribe them up the rest to get basing rights in their area. and so we can explore and see all of Japan. Looking at Muscovy, it's stretching across quite rapidly. Livonia is being quite annoying. We are not going to see a Russia probably, since the AI has horrible prioritizing to founding Russia in this. Meanwhile, Spain's probably been founded long ago. Kind of an odd situation where they've solved one of the two rarer AI founding things, but they haven't solved both yet. So since we need 400 power, it's going to take us around 8 years to get to the point where we can improve our colonists. Meanwhile, we can actually start accumulating administrative power again, which we'll need to, which they will spend, I should say, on Colonies and on Diego Garcia, Maha, and Major Dean will still have some left over. And actually, looking at it, we have that we can see the top of Madagascar, and if we could expand down there, that would actually be pretty funny. Since our ship's good to go, we're actually going to look further down, since we have a colony up here to sustain us for a little bit. Of course, we're out of our naval protected range in a bit, in that Major Dean is not really an official port. It's a kind of barely colonial port that doesn't really deserve to be called a port. And we can actually see probably one of the smallest provinces in the game, Zanzibar. Actually, it could be even debatable whether it really is an island looking at its size. We can now see, we now are in the Mozambique channel. We can't see what I presume is Mozambique. However, we can see the largest of we can start seeing one of the Madagascar provinces, Menabe. So we've explored quite a bit. We, of course, still don't know much about the world, but we're working on it. And you can't say we aren't trying. No, it's still turned incognito, never mind. Thought we had actually discovered something there. Obviously not. Major Dean is starting to get set up. It's at and hopefully by keeping our colonists there, we'll be able to do something with the colony. We can now see Bayona, the second of the 3 provinces. We now just need to see, I don't know actually what this 3rd province is, but once we do, we'll be able to start, we'll consider working our way through, say, Maha to actually see the rest. We can now see, is this really part of Boina? Wow. So I guess we actually know about these islands. It's part of a greater part of Madagascar. Okay, we've hit maximum relationship value with the zoo, which is currently taking their own war against Tibet. They won't give us basing rights. They currently just need a tiny little bit bigger motivation to actually let us in. So we'll go send them a large lump sum. And now they're much more willing to offer us basing rights. And with those rights, we'll be able to easily discover the rest of Indochina. Or at least another big part of it, I should say. So our goal is just to explore the remainder of the area around the Madagascar island. We're actually at the bottom of the map, pretty much. We just need to go around the Horn of Africa to find the rest. But we won't be going around the Horn today. We'll instead... Oh, Oman's fabricating a claim on Majidin. That's not good. We don't want to fight a war against Oman, especially because tech-wise, they are at military tech 10. We aren't even close to reaching there. We'll soon get cannons, so we may have to abandon colonies there. And indeed, I think I'll actually recall my colonists there. We can't win a battle, so we'll just let them take it and waste their time on it. We'll send someone down to Maha, and we'll work on expanding our Indian Ocean trade. Now this falls into the Zanzibar trade node, which is probably the smallest trade node, one of the smallest trade nodes around, especially since a great deal of it is uncolonized land. Kawatha are nationalists. Where? I don't see them. Oh, and the Mughal? Really? The Mughals? Wow. Okay, so we'll send our fleet all the way back up to the Maldives for repairs, and then we'll begin work in the Chinese seas. Since we've acquired basing rights... no, we haven't actually. And though they'll charge us for it, we'll live with that, but for the opportunity to trade within their air zone. I actually don't know if our fleet will make it back in time. Well, one ship may. The Neo-Lufa may make it back. But since they're traveling, doing open sea travel, they just may not be able to make it. Which would be my fault, since... Yeah, the Neo-Lufa, I think, will be the only ship that makes it back, unless we get really lucky. Oh, all of them were lost with the attrition growth, so... Oh, so we're down another ship. Also, we're down another admiral, I assume. Yep, we have to go recruit another one if we want to explore. So let's go, and once we order those new 5 ships to go make the doomed travel to find new lands, we can see how well that goes. Majidin is growing still, and if it actually manages to, I'll admit, if it manages to make it and fully finish, I'll be very surprised. Okay, we've set up our second colony in Maha, and more people are starting to leave the coalition against us. They don't see much reason for it, especially since we haven't expanded recently. And the only people we'd want to expand in, probably they won't care much about. It's more Hindus. And actually, we probably want to start working on setting up claims. So we can finish them off. Or we could fabricate one claim and then just vassalize them. Which is my preferred end game for them. It's cores we don't have to take, and they'll also... it's cores we don't have to make in the long run, and in the short run it will give us another small nation, Hindu nation we can call ours. Though of course we won't be getting direct trade income. For automated settlers in Diogo Garcia, since they can grow without worrying about being attacked, are doing quite well. And we're going to pass 100 points probably within pretty soon, which isn't that good. I mean, we should have, if we were in Europe, we'd probably pass it much sooner. And what do you know, we get a comet sighted. Yep, stability down. Everything is slightly worse, and our revolt risk is actually higher. Unfortunately, people are starting to get less extreme about their want to declare independence, as we not only get cores, but they lose their nationalism. In 1 year, we'll actually have core in Gurjat, the biggest problem province, in terms of what's giving us some overextension, and then we'll be able to look forward to that, I should say. And finally, if we, I'm sorry, I guess we'll go another tour of the world since we're not really doing much. Ottomans look like they're facing rebels. Almost said rebels, which is odd. And again, I'll be happy once we get to spread to see all of Europe. Though I'd like to see Europeans too. They're just as good. Especially Europeans more than me. And surprisingly enough, Majordine is doing quite well in getting colonized. We're going to recall our Devara Khan and send him instead to work on Majordine, because if we can have it, we will take it. And now, we don't have someone in the Western Tech Group, but if Oman was in the Western Tech Group, we actually would qualify to Westernize at this point. Since if we look, he has... No, I don't care about Hindustan. He has 4 more military tech and 2 more of the other tech. So that brings it to 8 above, and if I understand correctly, that is the level which they consider the westernization point, that they need to be ahead of you, and maybe more for farther away religions. Poland is doing quite well, and Sweden is starting to face religious disorder due to the Reformation, and they've gone Protestant officially, though we still see some Catholic there. And is that yeah, that's Astrakhan, one of the small surviving states. So to reiterate, the coalition against us, which we still unfortunately have, is Bengal, Amnagar, and Sindh. And I wouldn't want to fight that with such low manpower, though we would easily beat the alliance forces. And if we did fight that, I think I would want to also take a big bite out of Bengal's, the big bite out of Bengal that we were talking about earlier, especially since religiously they're still all Hindu. Well, except for that one province. But we could isolate their capital and actually take it. Sindh is invading Oud, and our guarantee apparently ended. However, we may be able to... let's not feed the AI money, especially since the AI sometimes is too stupid to use mercs. Granted, why they... well, wait, what war are they fighting? Oh, Kashmir must have been an ally of Oud. Yeah. So I think that it's a good to wrap the episode now that we're in a new year of 1517 in game. Okay, well here's our last major event, I guess. Majordine has been broken again, and we're not gonna try repairing it this time. Instead, we're going to work to more friendly waters and start in an easier... Well, neither of these provinces are easy. Actually, they're not as aggressive over here. Though we'll need the Ottomans to core. So thank you all for watching. Next time we'll start working on pursuing a war which has been coming for a while. And hope you all enjoy this video, and we'll view the next one.